Hello everyone, welcome to another new video by BookTales by Pritha. In today's video, I will talk about 20 books that I want to read in 2020. Actually, my list is always huge, but these are the 20 books that, out of which the 18 were kept in my bookshelf for a very long time, and I thought I should read it this year. Let's see by the year ends how many actually I read. So without further ado, let's begin today's video. The first book that I want to read is this one, Big Little Lies. This has been made into a series, and this book is again a bestseller. I have this book since last year, but I haven't read it yet. So this is one of the thrillers that I want to read because I've heard a lot about this particular book, and it is only after reading the book I would like to see the series. So this is the first book that I would like to read in 2020, and that is Big Little Lies. The next book that I want to read, which is again a very popular book, movie has been made into it. I haven't seen it, as usual. The book in question is the first book of the series, and the book in question is The Hunger Games. I bought this book, I think, sometime in last year from a book tour event. Got it at a throwaway price. If any time book tour is in your town, go, because they have great book collection, and the prices at which you get the books are like, you would like to take so many books, but you have to think where to keep it. So keep the story apart. But this is the second book that I want to read, and the book is The Hunger Games. This is the first book of the series. I have heard a lot about this particular book. Let me see how it treats me. The third book that I want to read is also a very popular book. Obviously, I have it in my bookshelf, but I haven't read it. The book in question is The Redhead Woman by Arundhati Roy. This is a very popular book. I have heard good reviews about this book, but I'm yet to read it. I have it in my bookshelf, and I have taken a plunge. I will read this book. So wait till 31st December 2020. Let me see whether I finish reading this particular book. So this is the third book that I plan to read in 2020. Actually, my list is huge, but I have decided to narrow it down to 20 books to make this video faster. The next book that I want to read is, or was, a very popular book that was very much talked about last year in the Bookstagram community, and the book in question is this one, Becoming by Michelle Obama. I actually heard a little bit about this book in the Storytel app when I had the subscription for that particular app, and I think I had heard about 2-3 chapters where Michelle Obama herself was speaking about this particular means. She was the narrator of the story. I found it engaging, and I definitely would like to read and finish Becoming this year. And let's see. 2 more books. I don't have the physical copies of those 2 books, but those 2 books are very popular, and the book in question, one is Americanah and the other book is An American Marriage. I've heard that both the books are about the black people, and you know, the stories on the black people, I find them very fascinating and engaging, and I plan to read those books, but sorry, I don't have the physical copy to show you. I will put the image of those 2 books, and I definitely plan to read those 2 books this year. The next book that I have in my bookshelf, and I haven't read it, is by Shashi Tharoor. I have never read a book by Shashi Tharoor, but I've heard his English is bit tough, bit hard. That's what I've heard, but I've never read it, so I don't know. The book in question is again a very popular book by Shashi Tharoor, and the book is The Great Indian Novel. This I bought from the second-hand market, and I don't know whether it's the original copy or not, but this is the book, and I've heard that there is some correction of the epic of Mahabharata and the tale that is told over here by Shashi Tharoor in this particular book. That's what I found means I should read the book, and that's why I got it. So this is the book, that is the Great Indian Novel by Shashi Tharoor. The next book that I want to show you is, I'm planning to read it in January. I don't know whether I'll finish it or not, but the book in question is this one. Eleanor, Oliphant is completely fine. This book is again very talked about book in BookTube, Bookstagram communities. Those who have read it have given it and talked very nicely about this book. I have this book since last year. I have not read it, but I plan to read it now, and I plan to read it in Jan or Feb. Let me see. Initially I told Jan, I'm now telling or Feb. Let me see when I get the time to read this book, and then I will definitely talk about this book both in Instagram as well as in the other platforms where I talk about books. So the next book, I bought this book because I had heard lots of good things about this book. The second book of the series is also out, but I have not read the first book. I was so dying to buy this book when I saw this cover. The book in question is Children of Blood and Bone. I haven't read this book yet, but I plan to read it this year so that I can get a hold of the book in the second series as well. I definitely want to read this book, and let's see if I can finish Children of Blood and Bone sometime down in this year, so that I can talk about the book as well as the next book in the series. The next book that I want to talk is this one, Empress by Ruby Lal. See the cover. See the cover of the book. Isn't it gorgeous? This book is so beautiful, so pretty. Everyone will fall in love just with the cover of the book. See, I have read about Noor Jahan in the 20th Wife, where we get a perspective of the character, but it was her character and a story that was going behind. This particular book, as per the blurb suggests, it is completely on this particular character, Noor Jahan. She was a powerful Mughal queen. She had an impact on the Mughal Empire itself. Not only the cover, but the character. And overall, this book, I found it very compelling, and I thought that I should read it. And this book is by a female author, about a female character, and I plan to read it in March, which is the Fem March, and various kind of readathons go around at that point of time, and I plan to read this book in March somewhere. Let's see if I could finish it in March. Another book that I wanted to talk about is a very popular book which was in 2018. This book was so hyped, so talked about. Various booktubers raved about this particular book. I got the book, but I haven't read it yet. The book in question is this one, Cersei by Madeline Miller. This book is, see the cover. The cover is wonderful. It is gorgeous. It is beautiful. I have heard same thing about the story as well. So let me read this book and get back to you with my feedback on my blogs on the Goodreads. Maybe I could make a video on this book later on as well. The next book that I want to talk was a contender of JCB Prize of Literature 2018. The book is very good, what I have heard the booktubers talking. The book in question is Latitude of Longing by Shubhangi Swaroop. This is the book. I have kept this book. I have heard that it is bit difficult, I've heard. So let me see when I when I finally get the time to read this book. I have this book in my bookshelf since last year. Let me see when I can, not last year, I think 2018, when the JCB Prize for Literature or the books, the long list awardees were mentioned. So let me see when I finally get the time to read this book. The books are so thin. I don't know when I will finish reading these books. Okay, now I will show you 3 books by Agatha Christie. Okay, there are 2 over here. Where is the other one? I'm not getting it. but I have 3 books, but as usual I'm not getting. So the first book is this one, The Murder of Roger Ackroyd. Next is The Murder on the Orient Express, and I also have The ABC Murder. I have read only one book by Agatha Christie, then there will be none. That was the name of the book, I believe, that I read in 2018. Last year I didn't read any book by Agatha Christie, but I collected these books. So let me see if I could. These are the 2, and the other one I can't find it right now. I have kept it somewhere. I will put in the description the link of all these books. So these are the 2 books by Agatha Christie, and one more. There is this, The ABC Murders. I plan to read in 2020. The next book that I want to talk about is again a very, very popular book. Not the next book, but the next 2 books. But I'm yet to read them. So the books in question is The Ministry of Utmost Happiness by Arundhati Roy. I have not read The God of Small Things yet. I plan to begin Arundhati Roy by this particular book. Let me see. I have not read her language. I don't know. I shouldn't comment about her books. Let me read it and then get back to you about my feedback on this particular book. And the other book that I want to read, which I actually started, I have read about some pages and then I kept it, is Sputnik Sweetheart by Haruki Murakami. When you are reading a Murakami book, you should devote your heart, soul, mind, everything into the book. Books are slow, and when you read a book by Murakami, you shouldn't read any other book. And I have a habit of reading 2-3 books at a time. So I plan to finish reading this particular book, Sputnik Sweetheart. I've heard a lot about this book by many people. So let me see how this story takes me to, where this story takes me to. The other book that I want to talk is this one, Memoirs of Geisha. Again, I got this book at a throwaway price. I collected the book. I was so happy that I got this book at a throwaway price. I have not seen the movie yet. I have thought first I will read the book, then I will see the movie. So see the thickness of the book. This is the thickness, and I plan to finish reading it in 2020. So let me see when finally I get the time to read this particular book. The other 2 books that I want to talk is, first is this one. This is Sita. I'm actually reading a lot of interpretations on the character of Sita and Draupadi, and if you have any good suggestion about books on these 2 characters, please do mention in the comment section which are the other books that I should read if I want to read and know more versions of these characters like Sita and Draupadi. So the first book is this one. This is Sita, and again this is a mythological retelling which I plan to read this year. And the other book that I want to read and finish this year is Turtles All the Way Down. This is another book that I want to finish reading this year because I have this book. I think since the book got released, I have this a copy of this particular book. It was a second-hand copy, but I have the copy of it and I haven't read it. So these are the 20 books that I think I will read in 2020. It is only by the end of the year you will get to know how many books actually I read, and the list will be for the next year. So do let me know in the comment section how you like this video. If you have read any of the books that I have mentioned in this particular video, talk about those books in the comment section, and do not forget to subscribe my channel BookTales by Pritha, because I keep talking about books, about career, about life in this particular channel. Also, follow BookTales by Pritha on Instagram and Facebook for regular updates. And hope to see you soon in my next video. And if you like this video, please press the like button. Tata and bye-bye.